Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Anders. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on September 13th, 2021 at approximately 12:02 p.m. PST. Well, like I said, we had a plan in place, and that's what we're following through with. So, today, you've had the thought, you've already you've already made a choice to move forward. Now, how do we go about that? Well, this is what the next few days are going to be covering. The first part of that is the purpose. What is the reason that you're going after the business? What is the reason you're restarting an old project that you put on hold for whatever issue? Okay, why are you doing something? Okay, what is the end game, if you will? So we look at the purpose of what's going on. Okay, that purpose is the thing that will drive you from now until you attain your goal. Now, for me, it's been very simple. Okay, and before I get into it, just a quick note. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel so you can get the rest of the information, the rest of the guidelines, okay, and all the tools that are coming up with it. Okay, and remember to subscribe, remember to hit that alert button so that you know when the next one comes up, because I do try and get these out once a day. Okay, now my purpose for the videos is very simple. It started out really with the people on spacedoutradio.com, who I'm on every Friday from the first Friday of every month from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, the original drive to get the video started was by a lot of the current videos at that time suggesting that I do this or asking me to, and is more to the point. Well, it went from there to taking a look at it and going, okay, maybe I can utilize this to get my own head on straight and hopefully get some guidelines out that are tried and true. Tried and true meaning I know they work because I personally am using them. Pretty much just about every tool I offer people, if it applies to me, well, in all fairness, every tool that I do offer people, if it applies to my life, I'm using it. There are a few tools I have offered to a number of people, and considering I started doing this when I was 10, meaning 48 hours under my 48 years under my belt. Okay, I've got a lot of clients I've had over the years. At this point, it racks up around 80,000 people. Okay, so when I'm offering tools to people that work that I haven't tried, for instance, I never started smoking, but I've helped a lot of people stop smoking and drinking without withdrawals, without medication, without some sort of an operation. Personally, I never started smoking. Can't say the same thing about drinking. Okay, but these are all tools I have personally tried, that I've personally experienced. The ones like smoking, I've got enough feedback from other people that said it worked, that I'm just not about to try to find out if I was right. I'll take their word for it. So what is the purpose? Why are you on this new path? Why are you not content with the way your life is? And what are you willing to do to alter it? Now, I've talked about the energy patterns. Okay, and right now I've spent my morning clearing off my desk again. I've got some stuff sitting here, but I've been working all morning. Okay, but the purpose for me that evolved, okay, from that issue of going, here's some tools I work with, was it finally evolved into an issue of, okay, let's spread this world. This is what I returned to spread with regards to the videos. One message for every entity in existence, and that is working together, we can make this a better world for pretty much everybody. Now, there are some people that will almost always be a variation, the odd person that is not content, that doesn't desire things to go in a smooth pattern. They desire more money, more control. They desire to make other people, or they choose to make other people feel miserable. Now, it is very likely that will always be part of the issue. But for the greater majority of people, and I'm a firm believer that 95% of the population are decent people, regardless of how you got there, regardless of who you are, where you came from, we all have a few things in common. One being that we are all right here, right now. And this is the only time in existence when you will ever be able to alter the way your life is going. You can never do it, and I don't use never very often. But even if you postpone doing something, you wait for a couple of days. I'll start next week. When you start, you are right here, right now. You are not a week down the road. You are right here, right now. And everybody's in the same boat. However you got to where you are, whatever your life is like, it is what it is right now. And you are the only person, the only entity in existence that has the ability to literally make your life more successful. So, we look at the purpose of whatever it is you're working on. Are you doing it because somebody else said you should, or are you doing it because you desire to do it? Now, for me, it worked out as encouragement from other people saying it would be a good idea. And then I finally got into it. And now I've gone from just spreading this message that we can, working together, make this a better world. Now it's gone to, okay, how do we go about doing this one step at a time? And I finally have a pattern set up. So we've got what? Well, we've used 2, which makes 10. The next 2 weeks' videos are already laid out. Okay. Today we're dealing with purpose. Now, and the purpose could be to make other people jealous, whatever. Bad idea, by the way. The only functional purpose I've found in life is when you make the decision you're going to do something for you. Okay, that's when it becomes imperative. Now, for me, that's a real simple issue. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Where is it? Over there. That's actually not a bad idea at all. And see, the books I've written, if I put them up here, which I think I'll do that while I'm talking to you, what is the purpose of your endeavor? Okay. Is the purpose to make somebody else happy, or is it to make your life better for you? Because rest assured, if you can when you get your life moving in the right direction, and you're content with your life, you will find something very useful. Now, I don't do this very often, as a matter of fact, very seldom. But I'll be right back. I'm not exactly going very far. But I do know these books that I'm hanging on to here. Okay. And I'll show you what they are in just half a minute. But by taking these are just bookends. Really, really heavy bookends. But that works out well for me. But by moving those over there, when I actually desire to get a hold of my books, I'll be able to. So, take that, put that there. Now, this particular book is not one I wrote. This is simply, as you can see, Roget's Thesaurus. Okay. Now, that is a better thesaurus than any internet thesaurus I've come across. Then we have Believe in Yourself and Follow Your Dreams. Now, Roget's Thesaurus I did not write. This one I did. Then we have Believe in Your Business and Follow Your Dreams. We have Mr. Dreamcatcher. Guess I should hold that up there. And then we have Yldrbac, The Latter Years, The Birth of the Wolf Pack. That's the first issue in the first book in the final trilogy in the 4-trilogy system, the 4-trilogy saga. And then, of course, we have this one. This is a reference manual, Races of the Worlds. And it literally covers, I believe there's 59 races in it, of races I've personally dealt with. Now, by putting these all here, They stand up nicely out of the way, where I can get at them if I actually desire them. But it also clears that shelf off behind, part of that shelf off behind me, so I can get stuff worked out there. Now, what is the purpose that you're altering things? For me, this is a question of making the energy run properly so that things work right. Now, yes, I've got a couple of figures sitting here that have to be moved. I'll be doing a little more painting today. Okay, at least that's the plan. But the purpose is the first step in success. You have to have a purpose. Why are you doing this? Okay, now, as far as that goes, we cover a few things. As the saying goes, no, that's for tomorrow. Okay, the purpose simply boils down to getting straight in your own head. Who are you making these changes for? For me, I've got my office turned around now where I actually feel a whole lot more comfortable. Okay, like the energy in this house actually feels a great deal better than it used to. Okay, and it's just getting better because my purpose for it is clearing things off. Now, what did I put here? Of course, that is simply, well, you know what that is. That would be a bad idea. I don't require it, so it'll get moved off here today. These are just odds and ends I've got to deal with. Somebody that I came across, this is actually a business card, an advertising business card for a novel. I haven't read it yet. I haven't even actually picked it up. But it's called The 15 Houses. I cannot tell you anything about it, only that somebody wrote this and handed me a bunch of business cards to do with it. So I think I'm going to spread them out a little. I'll keep one so I know where it is. I don't read a lot. I've got 2 books I'm reading right now, and I have decided I am going to start reading much more consistently. Matter of fact, I was actually aiming at doing something here. Hopefully that didn't blank anything out, but if it did, well, there ain't much I can do with it. Okay, now, where are we here? If I take a look back at the beginning, when I started reading, when I started actually tracking the books I was reading, was back in 2007. Since 2007, let's see, from 2007 to 2011, I was reading steady. And actually all the way to 2014. Then I stopped reading anything for 6 years and started up again last year. Well, to date, I have read 62 different books. 64? This says 64, but where does it start? Yeah, I have read 62 different books. Okay, since 2007. Now, I heard somebody say one day that a goal they had was to read 100 books before they died. Well, I've got 62 under my belt, and I've got the ISBN numbers for virtually all of them. When I wrote them, like I literally wrote down the title, the subtitle, the ISBN number, the publisher, the year that it's copyright and first printing, and the date I finished reading it. I did not bother with the date I started. Okay, because I wasn't interested in that. Well, right now I'm in the middle of reading 2 more, and one will be racked off in the next couple of weeks. Okay, because I'm going through it pretty quick. The second one, that is the Parent's Guide from the I Want to Know series. And my purpose, again, this was an issue when I started tracking these. The purpose was to actually get some reading done. Well, I'm getting it done. Okay. I'm not doing it for anybody but me. As a matter of fact, it was only a few months ago I asked my older brother how to improve my speeding read. And he didn't even think about it. He says, well, there's no real planning. The more you read, there's no real training. He goes, the more you read, the faster you'll get. And the more you focus on it, the better your memory will get. So I figured, okay, what the heck? Now, this is a man that I kid you not. He used to, I don't know how fast he reads now, but he used to read. It seemed he would flip a page, he'd read it, and he'd carry on. Well, I was never that fast of a reader. Okay, but that's just another one of those little goals, and the only person I'm reading it for is me. That's it. Okay, I'm just not interested in doing a lot of things for other people. This is why I pulled away. Okay, as far as somebody says, oh, you should do this. People tell me I should do a lot of things. Okay, I just don't listen to them. Which, by the way, is not always a good thing. If you think about it, if I'd have paid more attention to what my parents had said about the way to handle money, I wouldn't have got myself into the mess I'm in. But you've got to have a purpose. Now, let's just take a look at the project that you put on hold. You were going fine, you had this dream, I desire to get this project completed. Be it working for yourself, be it writing a novel, be it painting a great painting and becoming a professional artist, as in selling paintings. Now, I will tell you, these creative outlets, writing, directing movies, painting, becoming a musician, these are fields that are very competitive, and it really is not that many people that actually make it big. This does not mean don't do it. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now, do it anyway. Even if somebody says, well, you can't make money at it, I will caution you on one thing. If your purpose is going into something to make money, there's only one job I've ever come across, and I recommend you stay way away from it, where making money was actually a viable purpose. And that's in either counterfeiting or printing or working for a printing company for the government, where the purpose of what you're doing is to make money. Other than that, aim at things that are enjoyable to you. I'm writing the Yldrbac Chronicles for me. The fact I've got them up for sale, is simply an added bonus. It really isn't for everybody else. Not at this point. I would love to see it get to everybody else. But the reality is, I'm straightening my office out, and this is where you start. Get your office organized, because that's where the money sits. Okay. You get your office organized. I wonder if I've got a frame that'll sit there. I used to. I'll have to look around. If I've got a frame that'll sit there, I may just end up moving this little notice here. As a matter of fact, I will end up moving it from here down to beside me on the desk on one side or the other. I just have to find out if I've got a frame to put it in. But get the purpose in your head straightened out so that you know why you're doing it. Okay, once you've got a purpose in place, then you can actually start moving forward. And we will get into laying the plan out after. We'll deal with the planning side of it tomorrow. Okay. But for me, I've got my office worked out now where I've got a writing desk here, which I will get to work on my left-hand writing now that I've actually got a desk sitting where I can actually work with it. Right, my computer, I've actually got the keyboard offset because, well, I have to. Unless I can find a stand to set my laptop up on top of and pull the computer out on a drawer. I used to have a drawer, but it went the way of the dodo bird. And then I've got another shelf right here beside me that I now can actually write on. Of course, it's set up for my right hand. So needless to say, I will eventually get back to the idea of writing with my left hand and or writing with my right, depending on what I'm working on. The neat thing with my left hand is that my left hand actually works. It's kind of an odd setup because my left hand used to work really well. With the one glitch that with my left hand, it comes out mirror image. But the reality behind it is I can sit here and while I'm working, and it'll get easier as I go along. Okay, the more I do it, the easier it gets. It's like learning to ride a bike. Once you know how, it's very easy. Okay, you may get rusty if you haven't been on it for a while, but you'll remember. Now, I can tell you wholeheartedly that my left hand remembers how to write. It just doesn't have the coordination and the fluidity of it right now. So that's going to take me a little bit of time to get sorted around, but I will get it done. And that's because I desire to get it. That is the last, in my opinion, the last thing to put back on track from when I had my stroke. So you get a purpose in mind. I've got my energy sitting right in my office, so there's no real big problem. Okay, even with this thing, this particular box here has a whole pile of files. This is what I call a database. This is why people with computer hacking skills can't get to my database. I'm a dinosaur. Okay, so I've got those over there, where I know where they are. If I require them, I can reach over, grab them, take a look. Got a phone here. The energy in my office right now is set up very nicely. Next stage will be to finish tidying up the painting area and get to work over there again. Okay, but I am getting things removed. And as I said, with that shelf behind me here, okay, you can sort of see, I used to have the books sitting over there. They're gone now because I didn't require them. They're more effective over here. Okay, so that's where I'm working with. And my purpose is simple. Get the energy in my house working properly so that I can actually function. Now, to that end, and with the way society has gone, I decided I was going to pull back from public visibility for the most part, right, effective immediately a couple of days ago. And I did that for me. It doesn't mean I'm stopping the videos. The videos I'm going to continue with. The videos, the writing. Rest assured, you don't want me getting into singing. Not my opinion. And no, I'm not about to show you that, so don't even bother asking. It ain't going to happen. Which, just take my word for it, you'll thank me for that. But, when you've got a project you've been putting on hold, or you've got a business idea, if you've got questions, if you've got a topic you'd like me to cover, absolutely drop me a line in the comments below. Or if you want, if there's something more of a personal nature or of a nature you don't want other people reading, there's a lot of contact points below this video that you can reach out and contact me through. And I will do my best to respond. If it's concerning a video topic, like I said, my next 2 weeks are already booked. Okay, so it will be a little bit down the road, but I'm looking forward to having the videos all laid out. Okay, I'd love to have 30 or 40 weeks sorted out, but right now I've got 2 weeks laid out, and that works. Okay, but the whole issue here is this: you desire to change your life. Why? And the reality from that side of it is easier to figure out what you're not content with than to figure out what you are, or what you may be content with down the road. And remember, if you change something in your life and you're not content with the outcome, you can change it again, usually. I mean, if you think about it, there are certain things, like if you cut your hair too short, you're not going to be able to do anything about it for a few months until it grows back. Okay, and that's just the reality of it. Okay, people get into accidents where all of a sudden their life changes overnight and they're just not getting it back right away. I am, however, a firm believer that most accidents, most illnesses can be overcome. Of course, I do have a little bit of an odd advantage there. I've already walked out of the morgue once. Okay, I'm not planning on going back in to visit the morgue. It's just not one of those things I'm looking forward to. Although the look on the poor tech's face when I sat up on the table was kind of entertaining when I look back at it now. At the time, he just confused me. I didn't know what the problem was. Okay, but when it comes to a goal that you put on hold, let's say you put something on hold when you were a middle teenager or an early adult. You put something on hold because you put a number of years in and somebody came along and said, it's not good enough. You'll never make any money at it. You should stop and you should quit while you're ahead. Well, that's a cute thought, but it's kind of self-defeating. So I will tell you, if you put something on hold, now is the time to really take a look at whether or not that is something currently you desire or you feel may be enjoyable. It's certainly something to look at and say, let's get it finished. Okay. I'm a firm believer, and this is why I make use of this list. Okay. I'm a firm believer that you put a list together and you check things off as you go along, and you will feel like you got things accomplished. You know, for me, it's worked out really well, and this is why I push it as much as I do. You know, I even had a conversation this morning where I told an individual, they asked me why I put all these little tasks together. And like I told him, the reality is the bigger projects, if you don't get them completely done, you're going to feel like you didn't get anything accomplished. So if you break them down into smaller tasks, you can check them off and it will feel like you've got them and got a lot more done. And eventually what will happen if you break them down properly is you get the big project out of the way anyway. Okay. So it really is a case of looking in the mirror and going, am I making the changes to my life because I'm not content or because somebody else is not content? Okay. And that's where I stand on it. And that's the first task for you to become successful, because I will tell you this. Doesn't matter what your idea of success. I find it really a beneficial thing. I got my office worked out. I'm content with it now. I don't have to rearrange anything from the end of my desk, right here, all the way around and back out to the end of this counter. Okay, well, I do have to rearrange something. I've got 4 things here. Piece of Lego I found, that's got to go back to my son's room. My tape measure, and these two figures I've been painting. Okay, they have to go where they come off this shelf. Oh yeah, 5th one. These business cards that somebody handed me. Okay, they've got to go off, and they'll go off today, likely as soon as I get up and move. But from your standpoint, get a purpose in mind. Right now, right here, right now is the only time you can ever change anything in your life. It's the only time it works. Okay, and everybody is in exactly the same position. The only difference between people is the ones that are already at the top of the totem pole, okay, or a long way up. Those people have simply been at it a little longer. Like, I mean, right now, I wonder if I've got the information here so I can actually give you accurate information. Not on that one. On that one? Nope. So it's got to be on that. Where are we here? Currently, okay, that was yesterday. So, if we go to my dashboard on YouTube, I am currently at 143 subscribers. Now, the thing for me is I am not competing with the gamers. My videos are not that exciting. I know this, but I wasn't ever claiming to be. Okay. I did, however, I finally started playing a video game called Mass Effect that I can actually play, which is a nice change. Most video games I cannot play at all. I can't track them. Okay, and I do say can't because I have not corrected my eyes yet or my mindset to be able to track them fast enough yet. I may in time be able to. Okay, at least I found a game that I can play, which means I can play Skyrim, I can play Horizon, and I can play Mass Effect. Well, given the fact that I'm writing 32 books right now at the same time, I don't have a whole lot of time to do a lot of video gaming anyway. Okay, so with that in mind, and as I keep trying to keep these to the 30-minute mark, I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, I will be back tomorrow sometime. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.